Hello. I want you to ask one question. Are you selling more religion or giving more spirit in any videos that you have made about God? Because I'm guilty of this, and that is why I come across this theory question. And that's why I'm telling it to you, so that you could avoid living a life in practice to religious beliefs, not the belief of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the way of living, the only way of living close to God, the Spirit of love, right? Now, that's something I want to get into, but real quickly, I'll just skim over something I want to say. Okay, so as I said, there's religious beliefs, right? And that's different to the belief of the Holy Spirit. So, to get into that as quickly as I can, I'd simply say it's more of like practices we do in. It's like traditions, right? Traditional beliefs like praying before a meal. Like, it's good, but again, does it really draw you closer to God if you do not have a spirit of love? That's the thing. You can do these practices over and over, but eventually you're going to draw out that love, and it's just going to become a tradition you do, a practice that is devoid of love and is devoid of that welcoming spirit of love towards God. So let's just get into the spirit of love thing. So in John, it states that God is love, right? And that any who knew him or know him would say he is love. Okay? And to another note, it says, this is what Jesus said to Peter. He's asked him a question, do you love me? 3 times. And on the third time, Peter was hurt by that question, and he said, yes, Lord, you know I do. Something like that. Okay, and so Jesus then asked him to tend to his sheep. And so, in essence, when you have a spirit of love, you're faithful to serving God and giving more to others. A helping hand to others, you could say. And in another regard, is, you know how in the Old Testament, somewhere, it's been a while, because that only condemns us to death, the law of, like, the commandments that God spoke through Moses to the Hebrews, to everyone actually. But yeah, the point is, the law condemns us to death, but it is good and it's holy. It's just that sin in us uses that as like a thing to hit us with and to condemn us and shame us and guilt us, to cut us off from Christ, right? Because that's how evil sin is, the sin living in the world and in the flesh. But as to the point, God commanded us to love our neighbor as ourselves, or to treat others how we want to be treated. And the essence of that is, the essence of being holy, right, is love. And again, love is the answer, right? And God is love, so to become Christ-like as our goal as Christians, we have to have a spirit of love. And that's how we know if we're being cut off from God or if we're being distant from God, is because we are lacking a spirit of love. And when we have a spirit of love, in essence, we're obeying that commandment and those instructions and guidance that God has given us, those clues, those hints, those gestures of kindness. And yeah, what I'm trying to say is we're being faithful when we are loving to others, to each other as well. And sometimes it just means giving a helping hand, even when there's crazy things happening around us, you know? It's those little moments of love that God sees, right? Yeah. And yeah. That's what I really wanted to say. To have a spirit of love, and to know when you're selling religion and not giving, instead of giving spirit, the Holy Spirit. Because with the Holy Spirit, I had it in my notes somewhere. Yeah, it's a bit of a copy and paste, but hey, anyway, I'm gonna say it. The Holy Spirit is the higher aim, right? It's the greater perspective. It's the holy perspective, actually, and it's the only way of living close with God. So really, you could say the Holy Spirit is the loving spirit, you know? You could say that, in essence of what I've said. But, yeah. So really, we just need to pray for more love in the world, for others, and really just do whatever we can to stay connected to Christ, to stay connected to God, and to follow His voice as best as we can, as best as clearly as we can hear it. And His Spirit is His voice. So, yeah, I may be stating obvious things, but it's better I state the obvious things and the basics than leaving them unsaid. And yeah, so have faith in most holy love and continue that path of obeying the Lord, giving your best, giving your all, and sometimes just letting Him hold it up, you know, holding up the fort, holding up the position. But really, we're just men and women on position to follow the Lord's instructions in spirits of love, which would make it easier for us to follow God if we had a spirit of love. I'm just saying that. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll be repeating myself out, so continue that. Goodbye. Goodbye.